Hi, my name's Jazzi, and I just want to make a small introduction because I really want to put out some content for people in my position, and I guess for anyone who might sympathize or empathize with someone in my spot. I am a type 1 diabetic, and I hate to have that be the first thing I introduce myself with. But that's a big part of me. It's not who I am, but it is something that takes up 80% of my energy. I'm making this video because I've read a lot in diabetic support groups. I'm part of like 3. And the biggest thing that I keep reading is, I'm strong, but I'm exhausted. And so I want to share my story. I want to talk about what it is to be strong, but being tired. My battle started when I was 14, and it hasn't been an easy one. I don't like to talk about it, as if not talking about it makes it go away, but it doesn't. So I'm just gonna take another step in a different direction. Let's talk about it, and maybe it might get better. I am hoping to help bridge a gap between the diabetic community and the regular community of humans, which is those who surround us. If you're diabetic, you probably got family members who are not. You probably have friends who aren't. And that's pretty reasonable. It's not like you're going to run into a ton of diabetics all the time, unless you're on the internet, but that's neither here nor there. A normal person could wake up, have a cup of coffee, can have their breakfast, go to work, get in their car, do their life just fine. Now, if this doesn't sound as stressful as a normal person's life is, then I'm sorry. We all have our own stressors. It's fair. I do apologize. However, I want to explain something. When you're diabetic, your day doesn't start when you wake up in the morning. Your day starts the second your machine wakes you up, or the second your symptoms have woken you up. This is an annoying, sad true factor. I had family members that wouldn't be comfortable with me sleeping in because a diabetic girl that they knew died in her sleep. Young, healthy, just died in her sleep from a low. I'm not trying to make this seem worse, bad. I'm just trying to put it in perspective on why someone in my position might say, I'm strong, but I'm tired. I want you to imagine something, and this is for normal people. Are you crazy about getting injected all the time? Getting poked and prodded? And let's just say, it's not just the places you can imagine you get poked and prodded. It's places you didn't think you'd get poked and prodded. For me, personally, needles are still my biggest fears. That and snakes. Not a fan of snakes. Never gonna happen. Probably because they have little needles out of their mouth. That's all I'm gonna say about that. So, having to sit there when I was diagnosed and tell them, don't I have any other option? Please. I can't do needles. I'm so afraid. Please, I can't do needles. Please, please, please. Is there anything else I can do? No, there's not, is the simple answer. And that's it. You just have to get poked and prodded. I remember when I was in my diagnosis, it's like a whole week long of stabilizing my sugar and figuring out how to test my sugar and knowing what it means to be high or low, which I didn't know since the hospital was very good about keeping me stable. But I remember being asked, "Are you okay? How are you feeling?" And I looked at my hands and I said, "I feel like I keep trying to grab a cactus and I get pissed off when it hurts, but then I do it again and I get pissed off and I just keep doing it because all of my fingertips were purple. They hurt so bad from having my blood sugar checked." So here's another thing that most diabetics who are sick of that might be afraid to admit. I don't want to check her sugar all the damn time. Now, like, if I'm speaking to you now the way I am right here, I'm like, hey, I think my sugar's fine. I mean, I have a Dexcom. I can see where my blood sugar is. Some people don't have that luxury. So some people go blind. And what I mean by running on blind is not checking. It's scary. It's not fun. And you're really gambling. But I don't blame people who do that. I did it for years. 1 is forgetfulness. 2, painful. If you can imagine cutting your fingertips 4 to 8 times a day on a good day and be okay with that, good for you. But there are a lot of people who are not okay with that. Can you imagine your favorite dessert and all of a sudden realizing it could kill you? One of the biggest things that I really have loathed since I became diabetic was normal people hearing my story telling me, "God, I couldn't do it, I'd just die." And 15-year-old me being like, "Okay, thanks." A normal person can hear my story for barely 5 minutes and tell me that they would have decided to die. I started to become a little bit more callous and saying, "Yeah, well, how much do your kids matter to you?" "That much? Okay, so I guess you wouldn't die, would you?" I am making this rant because I'm sick of people in my situation being judged. And to put it in even more context for people who don't battle this stupid disease, diabetes is the 7th leading cause of death in the United States. We are the richest country in the world. Diabetes is manageable. I don't say easily, but it's manageable. We don't price gouge water. We don't price gouge penicillin. And we do not price gouge baby formula. I mean, sometimes, I guess. That's up for debate, but we don't do that. Then how come the one thing that keeps us alive is repeatedly price gouged? It should be criminal. 2018, no less than 20 parents brought the ashes of their 26-year-olds because they aged out of their insurance. They died. And if you don't think that some of us thought, hey, I just won't eat as much then, I'm speaking to you as someone who barely eats once a day. Every time I told the hospital staff I didn't want to eat because it took them so long to check my sugar, make sure I took the right amount of insulin. I wasn't hungry anymore. The effort just to eat is annoyingly painful. And I don't want to do it. I just don't. They ask me, "Are you suicidal?" No, I'm not suicidal. I'm just tired. And it's quite easy for me to die. And when I do, I'm nothing but a statistic. That's it. That's all my life is. Oh shoot, another diabetic bites the dust. Guess they had too much candy. Ha ha ha. If that sounds effed up to you, it should be. Because that's all our deaths are seen as. Except for the one time in 2018 when parents finally got the gumption to say, this is wrong. Insulin was given as a gift to humanity. Why did one company get to decide what our life costs? I only make this video, this one specific video is just to say to my people, you're valued and you have a right to be exhausted. I don't give you any excuse to stop fighting because I don't get an excuse to stop fighting. If I'm living, you need to live too. We can do it together, but I don't want you to be gaslit anymore. And I want you to understand that your feelings are more than valid. Because I want anybody who doesn't deal with this to look at someone that they hold most dear. And I want you to think, if I didn't have $3,000 saved, would they die? And that's what the struggle is about. When someone with diabetes says, I'm strong, but I'm tired, give them a hug, please. Don't tell them that it's fine, just manage your sugar better. No. What's happening is wrong. Most of us can't prosper because of how we have to jump through hoops just to stay alive. The amount of hoops I have to jump through just to keep insurance is insane. When I got a stable office job, the only way I was able to survive is for when my one good friend went to Mexico and bought me insulin. One good friend. Now, there is one other friend who was there too, side by side with her. He was a diabetic. And he gave me insulin. And I was very, very stubborn and said, you have to take this money. Because in good conscience, if he needed that, would his life be on my hands? I couldn't live with that. A lot of us diabetics look out for each other, and I think it's beautiful. So, if you are type 1, type 2, diabetic, gestational, doesn't matter. If you think to yourself, I'm strong, but I'm tired, I'm here to tell you, if you're listening to this, you are more than strong. You have strength that puts me in awe. Because normal people don't understand. But I do. A lot of us are right there with you. If you're saying, I'm tired, I don't want to do this anymore, please do. Please keep doing it. It's bullshit. I agree. But please hang in there. Comment. Tell me what you want me to share. I will go into what it's like to be in a behavioral health institute while you're diabetic. or to be in jail and you're diabetic. I've been through some stuff, and I want to make it known. I'm tired that diabetic can die every day and nobody bats an eye. I'm tired. I can keep fighting my own personal battle, but I don't think I can continue to take the stigmas of this world anymore. We need kindness. Just a little bit more. It's all I ask for me and the people that I care about. And the people I care about is everyone. But diabetics, you hold a special place in my heart because you are a warrior. So please hang in.